Other interesting political news, you have DeSantis reacting to Nikki Haley declining to participate in the New Hampshire debate. Now, for DeSantis, as youth might say, this went viral, especially for him on his personal X Twitter profile. It hit over 1 million views in 24 hours. And for DeSantis, a good sample size for his viewership on his individual profile, it might be 200 to 600,000 is a good average for that. And every once in a while, he'll have his outliers of 1 million or a little bit over 1 million. So this is one of the most viewed ones. Now, that being said, not a lot of people liked it, but nevertheless, a lot of people saw it. So without too much further ado, he did not actually use a picture, but he did use a fair amount of text. So Ron DeSantis said, quote, Nikki Haley is afraid to debate because she doesn't want to have to answer to the tough questions such as how she got rich off Boeing after giving them millions in taxpayer handouts as governor of South Carolina. The reality is she's not running for the nomination. She's running to be Trump's VP. I won't snub New Hampshire voters like both Nikki Haley and Donald Trump and plan to honor my commitments. I look forward to debating 2 empty podiums in the Granite State this week, unquote. Which I guess might give him a promotional picture or something. Jeez Louise, that would be boring. But nevertheless, that did get 1.3 million views, but only, hilariously enough, 12,000 likes, which that's not great. I mean, actually, if you pull up the good old calculator here, we can do a little percentage check right now. Now, it is very sad. The United States public schools are becoming detrimental to their education, actually. Well, truth be told, go on TikTok and look what the teachers are actually promulgating these days is quite horrifying. Granted, yes, of course, there are some good exceptional teachers, but it is quite concerning what the teachers' unions are doing. There's the 32-year low for ACT scores, math, science, history, the scores are all evaporating to nothing, and yet they say they deserve raises in the teachers' unions. Fascinating. It's almost as if they want to get paid more for less performance. Kind of like the automotive community. Oh, I digress partially. Now, we're going to do some fun math here today. So 12,000 people like this, and 1.3 million people viewed it. So we're going to take the 12,000 likes divided by 1.3 million. That gives us 0.00923. However, let's turn that into a percentage today. Multiply that by a good old 100. That gives us 0.92307. Or, if you feel so inclined to round, you can just round it to 0.92%, which means for every 100 people that saw it, not even a complete person liked it, which, not great. And again, I'm not sure how, it certainly doesn't sound inspiring or interesting. He's going to show up to an empty podium. I mean, it's not new to skip a debate, so Nikki Haley isn't doing anything groundbreaking since Trump has already done that and set that precedent. So I don't really know what DeSantis is thinking. I mean, his marketing campaign is not doing great. He's dropping down in the polls more and more, especially the poll aggregators where he started in the 30s, now he's down to like 11.2% or something like that. It's as if he shot himself twice in the high-heeled boots with a 50 caliber. But let's go in the comments. Maybe they are all overwhelmingly supporting of Ron and they appreciate his techniques and strategies. Probably not, but stay in the comments and find out. The first comment comes from Paul DeZoup. Again, I apologize. I messaged him. I hope he gets back to me so I could appropriately pronounce his name because he is very active in political social media and I keep seeing him and a lot of people like his post and his responses. This, again, comes from Paul Zizpula? Probably. And he says, quote, just drop out DeSantis, you have no chance. Vivek did the right thing. Why won't you, unquote. That got 2.4 thousand likes. Paul also reposted with a picture of the Iowa caucus results. And he said, again, quote, DeSantis lost by 30 points. He has zero chance, unquote. That other post got 712 likes. Matt Gage chimed in, and he said, quote, it's over, man, unquote. That got 5.3 thousand likes. Let's see here. Joseph Pino says, quote, Dear Ron DeSantis, your commitment is to the people of Florida. They're suffering from an insurance crisis. You lost. It's time to govern Florida like you promised, unquote. That got 1.8 thousand likes. JD Sharp said, what are you doing? You just lost every county in Iowa despite dropping 300 million, visiting all 99 of them, uprooting your family, and abandoning your state 6 months after being re-elected governor. Get out of the race, endorse Trump publicly, and prepare for 28, unquote. They got 2.2 thousand likes. But at this point, let me know in the comments if you think differently. I don't know how much of a chance there is for 2028 for DeSantis. An overwhelming majority of the social media, and again, this is not a direct correlation between social media and the real world. A lot of people are critiquing him, though, on the timing and saying off the bat, he should have waited for 2028. And his marketing campaign has been so utterly abysmal. I would be surprised if he tries again for the election. I mean, there's a lot of time between 2024 and 2028. But he just failed so bad. And don't get me wrong, he's still up in the polls, but not compared to Trump. And all the people who, I think a majority of people who support Trump, they would not support DeSantis if DeSantis was running without Trump. I think the people who support Trump in 2028, they would probably go to someone like Vivek more than DeSantis. But that's just my 3 cents. It used to be 2 cents, but 40-year hyperinflation, got charged to 3. But I was going to say, it's still free to click the subscribe button. I'll do 1 or 2 more comments here. And again, so far I have not found a single positive comment for DeSantis. The next one, again, these are all the top comments you see. This comes from Clandestine. They say, quote, LMFAO, the DeSantis camp are the only ones pushing this nonsense. Trump would never pick Haley as his VP. He calls her a globalist and openly talks about how abysmal she is. Just give it up, Ron. It's over, unquote. I got 1.9 thousand likes. I'll be darned. We did find a contrarian statement, or so rather, well, contrarian to the overwhelming majority of the comments. However, we found a statement that did agree with Ron DeSantis. This comes from Unfiltered Boss, who's a consistent positive poster on the DeSantis social media, and he says, quote, Haley and Trump are both cowards for being insulted by the corporate media, unquote. They got 585 likes. Another top one comes from Randy Savage. It says, quote, this post after such a historic loss confirms how severe your personality disorder actually is, unquote. They got 1.2 thousand likes. Julia chimes in saying, do the right thing, endorse Trump. And there's a picture of Donald Trump winning Iowa, getting 544 likes. Ultra Mega Joyce Day, which you probably know what her political affiliation is, though she's not wearing the iconic red hat, so not A+ for marketing, but nevertheless, this alleged Ultra Mega Joyce says, quote, you're honoring your commitments, question mark. What about your commitment to being a governor of Florida, unquote, getting 348 likes. Let's see here. Molly Pitcher says Trump is not going to pick her for vice president. And there's a picture of, is it Mad Men? Some picture where men, however, properly dressed in suits, are all laughing bombastically, and Trump has been photoshopped in that picture. That got 913 likes. Let's see here. Right Angle News Network says, quote, DeSantis back down Trump, unquote, getting 474 likes. Raheem chimes in saying, quote, I look forward to debating 2 empty podiums. MFer, who is writing this garbage for you, unquote, getting 803 likes. Presumably his marketing campaign team, his marketing staff, people not good at social media, to say the least. See, we'll do one more. Leia Memes says, oh, I don't want to say F- for marketing, but her name is Leia Memes. She responded in text form and not a meme. Nevertheless, this alleged Leia Memes says, you lost all 99 counties in Iowa. Sit down. You and Nikki both won't last much longer, unquote. And I got 541 likes. So, as youth might say, he was ratioed. Well, that's a terrible snap. I will attempt to do that again. He was ratioed, to say the least, as we saw only 1 or 2 positive comments. And again, those are the people who have consistently been supporting him for months. So he's not gaining any new positive social media folks that I can see. We scrolled for quite a bit. It seems like half of them are saying drop out, half of them are saying you're embarrassment. I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where I don't see how he could turn this around. And again, Trump is winning by a huge margin. So, again, if he could turn around his campaign, Ron DeSantis specifically, it would be the marketing achievement of the century. In terms of turning around a brand and getting people on board, I'm trying to think of a business that's had such an overwhelming success in that regard that would translate to politics. Or I can't think of even an appropriate metaphor for a comeback that successful. It's so rare. Perhaps General Motors, you could say Billy Durant, when he founded General Motors, went bankrupt, he lost control, teamed up with a French race car driver by the name of Louis Chevrolet, built that up so big he was able to buy GM again from the bank. which was highly improbable. So that perhaps would be one metaphor. Although some might say the metaphor is apt, especially because it actually went bankrupt again and he lost it permanent to the banks, unfortunately. Perhaps that will be the metaphor for Ron DeSantis in the end. But as Magic 8 Ball would say for Ron DeSantis, the outlook is not so good. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in again today. Trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of January, so click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a like or a comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better, improve the quality over time. Also, and lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.